Buddhism comes from the word Buddhi, meaning awakening. So, Buddhist philosophy is essentially the philosophy of awakening, opening not only your eyes, but your consciousness and your mind. Listen to these 5 stories. They will help you overcome apathy and doubt, discover depth and meaning in ordinary things, and most importantly, they will make you wiser. Story 1: The Cup of Tea. A proud and self-important professor once visited a Zen master. He introduced himself and immediately began listing all his titles and achievements accumulated over decades of teaching. When he finally finished his presentation, the master asked what had brought him there. "I want to learn the secrets of Zen wisdom," the professor said. Instead of beginning a lecture, the master suggested they have tea. He began pouring tea into the professor's cup. The cup filled to the brim, but the master kept pouring. Tea spilled over onto the table, yet he did not stop. The professor shouted, "Can't you see the cup is already full?" The master calmly set down the teapot and replied, "You are like this cup, full of your own opinions and assumptions. Until you empty your cup, you can learn nothing from me." Moral: a mind full of judgments cannot receive wisdom. To learn and grow, we must first empty ourselves of old beliefs and open up to new understanding. Story 2: The Gift. One day, the Buddha was speaking with his disciples, sharing his teachings, when a man approached and publicly insulted him, trying to provoke anger. The Buddha remained calm and silent. When the man left, one of the disciples asked why the Buddha hadn't reacted. The Buddha replied, "If someone offers you a horse and you refuse it, who does the horse belong to?" "To the giver, of course," the disciple said. "Exactly," said the Buddha. In the same way, if someone tries to give you anger, insults, or hatred, but you refuse to accept them, they remain with the one who offered them. Moral: no one can truly offend you unless you accept the offense. Peace comes from choosing not to take in the negativity offered by others. Story 3: The 2 Monks and the Beautiful Woman. 2 monks, an old one and a young one, were walking near a river by their monastery. A beautiful woman approached and asked for help crossing the water. The young monk stepped back in horror. Touching a woman was forbidden. But the older monk quietly lifted her into his arms, carried her across, and set her down gently. They continued their walk in silence. Hours later, the young monk, unable to contain himself, said, "Master, how could you do that? We are forbidden even to touch a woman, yet you carried her." The old monk smiled, "I set her down hours ago. But you are still carrying her." Moral: many of us carry our past far longer than we need to. Letting go brings lightness and peace. Clinging to guilt or resentment only makes the burden heavier. Story 4: Where do we search? One afternoon, villagers saw an old woman searching for something in the street. "What have you lost?" they asked. "My needle," she said sadly. They began helping her search. After a long, fruitless effort, one man asked, "Where exactly did you lose it?" "At home," she said. Everyone was confused. "Then why are you looking here?" She calmly replied, "Because it's bright out here, and it's dark inside." Moral: like the old woman, we often search outside for what we've lost inside. We look for happiness, peace, and fulfillment in the outer world, forgetting that they can only be found within ourselves. Story 5: We all change. No one taught kindness and compassion as profoundly as the Buddha. Among his cousins was Devdatta, a man consumed by envy and hatred. He was so jealous that he even plotted to kill the Buddha. One day, as the Buddha walked peacefully along a path, Devdatta pushed a huge boulder from a nearby hilltop, trying to crush him. Miraculously, the rock missed and rolled past the Buddha without harm. The Buddha simply smiled and continued walking, calm and unchanged. Days later, the Buddha met Devdatta on the road and greeted him warmly. Devdatta was stunned. "Aren't you angry with me?" he asked. "Of course not," the Buddha replied gently. Devdatta, still shocked, demanded, "But why? Explain to me." The Buddha said, "Because you are no longer the man who pushed that rock. And I am no longer the man who walked that path." Moral: we all change. Holding on to anger or resentment ties us to a version of the past that no longer exists. True wisdom is recognizing that both we and others are constantly evolving, and forgiveness is simply accepting that truth.